You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Hello people, it is OFAC again, episode 66, brought to you by Backdrops and Bases. Hello everyone, it's the usual crowd, as per usual. And look, Toy Mafia, not once, but twice, but thrice. Gotta love the guy. He's been there since 6:15 He's been there since 6:15 this evening. That's dedication. That's bordering on psychotic, but we'll let it slide.
He's sitting there, he's eating his dinner.
He's just waiting for OFAC to come on. So how are we all?
Oh, good.
Yeah, great, thanks. Yep.
Living the dream and all that?
Oh yeah.
But you're on 2 weeks holiday, aren't you, Shane?
I will be.
Oh, your terms dates are different to ours. We're in our schools are in our first week of Easter.
Oh, mine ain't.
Already, so.
My boy ain't. He's next week and the week after.
Okay. Right, you're on you're on Ireland schedule then.
Yeah. One more day tomorrow and then.
Oh, okay.
2 weeks
nice.
off. So this is why everyone hates us.
Hey Ryan, we're in chat. Hello.
Yep.
Right. So it's an anemic show today. There wasn't a great deal. Normally Hot Toys likes to tease us. They don't give us fuck all, and then all of a sudden on Monday they drop a load of stuff. They've dropped fuck all really. So there's not a great deal to talk about. But
not really happened this time.
As per usual. Carlito, hello.
Carlito.
Hello. I'm loving that little
That's
little icon.
cool, isn't it?
It is very, very good.
Hello there.
Yeah, hello there. So let's go straight into
New this fortnight.
show us what you picked up then, Pete. You're lucky. By the way, it's Pete's birthday, just so we're all clear on that. So we expect lots of comments about how aged and decrepit he is in the comments. So just going to set the bar where we want it.
Yeah, bring him on. Nothing better to finish off your birthday by streaming live on the CW network. So yeah,
exactly. Putting up with my bullshit in the evening. That's what you're on for your birthday.
Yeah. No, I picked up the Dark Toys Rick Deckard from Blade Runner. It's a figure I've had my eye on for a bit, and I didn't pre-order him back in the day, and I sort of kicked myself a little bit. And I thought, okay, well, I'll put that one aside. And then when I think he came out a month or two ago, cheers Carlito. I've been watching the threads and seeing all the pictures, and because there was a lot of concern as to how good the head sculpts would be. I believe they're knockoff, they're casts of the Buffy sculpt that he did a while back, and I'm not a fan of his indie one that he did recently, but I quite like this one, and they've come out really well. They could probably be slightly better painted, but they're actually not too bad. And so someone listed up on the boards, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have that. And with the view that basically you get two heads, they're exactly the same, but one's got a little bit of blood, and the other one's clean. So what a lot of us in the indie game are doing is using the second sculpt as a young indie. So I've got that in custom corner, so we could talk about that then. But no, the figure's great. Head sculpt's good. All the clothing is really good. I mean, I've got no experience of Dark Toys previous to this, but yeah, really impressed. The body's a bit lame, but then that's kind of what you'd expect from these the cheaper third party companies. It's not bad though. It's probably it's a little bit loose in the torso, so he can and I haven't got any spare sort of bodies kicking around at the moment, and I thought, well, I don't really want to spend because the body that I like to use, the JX Toys JX01, I used to be able to pick them up for about 30 quid, but all the listings on eBay now, they're like 45, 50 quid. Everything,
everything's
gone crazy.
Stupid money.
So it's more of an undertaking now. It's not like, oh yeah, I'll just get another body for it. So I've left it, and actually it's fine. I did a few mods. Yeah, go on.
If it's loose, can you get to the screws on the back and just tighten? Just take it apart and pad out.
Yeah, I probably could. I mean, he stands fine like that, so I left it for now. But yeah, a couple of mods. All I did was I swapped out the hands because the hands were a little bit. They weren't very
plasticky.
detailed, so I swapped them. Yeah. So I swapped them out for. I'm not sure if they're Hot Toys ones, but they're a bit more detailed. Although I had to play around with different pegs because the holes in the arms are a little bit of an odd size. I just glued the two parts of the tyre together because it tended to kind of like spring out like that, and it looked a bit odd. So I've just tiny dab of glue just to put the back piece behind there.
I've done that to
shoes.
all my work ties.
Yeah,
I've done that to all my work ties. The actual ones I wear to work.
Oh, really?
yeah, fuck it. I actually cut the whole thing off and just stick it onto my neck.
Brilliant.
I like that.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, kids don't. They're all clip on or elastic these days, aren't they? They don't tie ties anymore. So yeah, and the only thing I'd swapped out was the shoes. The shoes are okay. So I did a little bit of research because I wasn't sure. I kind of come back to Blade Runner. I saw it a long time ago, and I saw the director's cut, and I wasn't a massive fan, not in the same way that I am of him as Han Solo or Indy, but I think I've found more of an appreciation it as an older viewer. I think it's a great film, and so yeah, these are Reeboks. And they were quite battered. So the ones that come with this, they're hard plastic. The sculpt is okay when I compared it to what he had on the screen, but they're like super shiny. And I thought, well, I'm going to have to like dull coat those at least. And I thought, well, I'll see if I've got any other shoes. And I was having a look through, and I had a pair of, like I don't know if they're DID or something, or Damn Toys or something. The combat boots, like the Vietnam combat boots that we've used. Like I use it for Predator, Dutch Schaefer, stuff like that. So they're a really nice material, kind of like Vietnam boot, and they do an all black one. So these were those, and I bought them for to swap out. The Murphy that I bought from you, from the RoboCop Battle Damage 2 pack.
Yes.
I was going to swap them out for his because he's got like plastic boots, but then because I ended up doing the one where I did the severed arm and stuff like that, and he's kneeling down, you don't see the boots at all. So I thought, I won't bother. I left the stock boots on there. So I had these boots in there, and I was like, okay, let's put them on. Yeah, they look good. And then one of the soles was peeling off. So I peeled it off, and I thought, with a view to sticking it back on. I was like, do you know what? They look brilliant like that because they were too. They're boots, they were too boot-like. But by just taking the sole off, and all I did was cut two little pieces of leather and stuck them on underneath. They look perfect as these trainers kind of thing. And obviously they've got real laces and stuff. So that was kind of like the lamest bit of the set, if you like. And that's not to say it's brilliant out of the box. So I'm really pleased with him. So that was kind of my little birthday present to myself, really.
I'm always tempted by that because it does look really good.
Yeah, and then obviously you could go to town like weathering him up and stuff if you wanted to, but I think I'm just going to leave him for now.
Was it all Daft Toys? Like what was it all?
Dark Toys.
Oh, Dark Toys. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
apart from the shoes that I swapped out, everything is stock. So it's really good, and you get the obviously the gun, the like the holster, the belt, his ID card, and you get the Voight Kampf machine with that they use to test the thing, and a little whiskey bottle and the glass and everything.
Enhance.
Yeah. And I've also ordered the just to see what the difference is, and to probably have it on the little stand in front of him. The Supermad toys that did the Officer K and officer. What was the from 2049? Can't remember what the other guy was.
Gillinghall. Is it Gillinghall?
No, it's Ryan Gosling, but I can't remember what
Gosling.
his
No, I can't
gender
remember
was.
his name. Is it Joe?
But they've re-released the gun, I guess, to
Yeah.
go with, so because they know people are buying this, so that was like £18.
Yeah.
So I bought that one as well. So that comes on a little stand, so I'll probably have that in front of him because it's a really cool gun, and I know people like have the full size replicas and everything. And but yeah, no, definitely I can recommend that if you're on the fence on that one, and you can still get one. I think I paid £170 shipped for it, which in this day and age is a pretty good price for the quality of the figure. So yeah,
for what you've got,
please.
it's pretty good.
Yeah, please. All I did with the head sculpt, the blood was a bit insipid. It was a bit rubbish. So I just went in with the blood for the blood god, mixed in a bit of black, redid the one on his cheek and his nose, which is basically what you've got. And then I looked at some stills, and he had some kind of sort of red on the top of his head and everything. So I just blooded him up a little bit, and I think, to be honest, that made the difference because the stock paint is okay. Just the blood was like just a really basic, too light and everything. But
a bit of red, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly. It had no depth to it, whereas now it's easy enough to do some nice blood effects. So yeah, brilliant figure. Yeah, cool.
And figures with those big coats as well. They always look so toyetic, like.
Yes.
Like it's real cinematic. Those huge, like overly sized coats and overly sized colors.
Yeah.
Like Neo, even like 2049. This like just the coat looks deadly. Like.
And it scales quite well. It's not too bulky. The three, because you've got 3 layers. You've obviously got the shirt. You've got the sort of the suit jacket, and then the coat. But yeah, no, it's really well done. So
he's not wearing a Joker bath towel, is he?
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good there. Nice pickup. So I, like I said, I've got back into 40k after a very, very long time, and what I like about it is how cheap it is compared to 6 scale. So like but I don't know why anyone would buy anything from Games Workshop. That shit is expensive. Whaling Games and people like that, fucking so much cheaper. I ended up Combat Patrol was. The first one I bought in Games Workshop because I didn't know any better, was like 90 quid. Yep. 65 quid on Whaling Games. And then this Gazskull was like 25 instead of 35. So I'm loving playing it, and I've even started painting some bits up and buying little fucking like holdy bits to do stuff. These fuckers I'm not looking forward to painting because I've got like 60 of these. So these are just going to go done. And then anything like this Gazskull, I'll take the time over. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and a lot of my spare money has gone into paying off my pre-orders. So me and a few guys from work have started playing, and I've just slowly started to build up because I got this Combat Patrol before, so now I've got 2, which gives me like 1,000 points, and I can use this Gazskull to fuck everything up because he's a bastard, effectively. But it's painting them. So that's the Gazskull, right, with no arms, because I'm going to do them separately. Like
solo, yeah.
So
okay, yeah.
See if it'll zoom in it. So I mean, I've undercoded it, so you can't really tell.
Yeah.
So fucking small, so unbelievably fucking small. His little dude he comes with is like that, tiny little fella. Like
Yeah, I was going to ask you how you find the painting. Have you had to invest in some even finer brushes, or?
No, so luckily what I've got will do. And I've got so many different brushes now. It's just, I've actually dug out a load of brushes that I was going to just throw away because they're kind of perfect for some of this. But this is, the way you paint these minis is completely different to how you would paint a 6-scale head. So it's almost like I'm brand new at painting again. It's really weird. Like, give me a 6-scale head, I know exactly what to do, and I know exactly the process, and I can bang them out relatively quickly now. Whereas this, like, when I was doing... So the back there's that's called a death dread, the thing on the mountain. When I was painting that and the guy at the front with the little axe, like, they took fucking forever, and it's completely different. Because I normally work dark to light when I paint. but a lot of this is almost the other way around. It's working light to dark, and I can't get my head around that. It's fucking me up.
The thought. Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
Just the thought of painting something that small and that intricate, like literally hurts my face. Like I don't know how you have the patience to try. Like, do you have to use like a little almost magnifying glass, or is it just like you just go by your eye?
On these, I only really use the magnifying glass when I'm doing like the face. When I paint 6-scale like heads, I only really use the magnifying glass when I'm doing like the eyebrows and the eyes and stuff like that. Because a lot of that is just shading and dry brushing and washes to get the skin tone. So that you can just, you just happy days. And I only really use the jeweler's headset with the 3 magnification, like the guy of Toy Story, when I'm doing like eyes and stuff. But these are just like so much more difficult. I didn't appreciate it. But I used to paint them as well. So like I painted them years back, and I don't remember them being this difficult. But then the models back then were nowhere near as detailed as this. Like this Garsco guy, I googled the one I had when I played like 15 years ago and compared it to this, and I was like, that's like night and day. It's like it's like a sideshow figure versus like a Hot Toys. It's that kind of gap in. It's really
I see you're in good company though, because do you know who else is learning to paint Warhammer 40,000 at the moment?
I know Cavill. So he's been playing for years.
Yeah, and he's doing the painting now. And he's been posting some stuff up and saying, I'm learning and all this sort of thing. And it's great when
they took him for a tour around Warhammer World, which is up in I think it's Warwick or somewhere like that. I want to go because it looks really good. But they took him for a tour around there, and then apparently he's working on a video game with them as well.
Oh right, excellent.
So the guy's like king of the nerds. He builds his own gaming PCs as well.
Yeah, I saw that actually. I think it's on his Instagram or something.
Good to see.
But it's completely changed from when I played it years ago. So I'm thoroughly.
So do you play at work, or do you meet up like in the evening?
No, so we have this thing called the safe room, which is meant to be there for like because with the safety team, we do like safety things in there, like initiatives and stuff like that. So we just I literally just put a block in the diary for like after work, and then we go in, chuck a couple of tables together, chuck a mat over it, and away we go. Like,
cool.
So it's quite handy. It's quite handy working in a place with loads of meeting rooms, because you've always got somewhere to play. You just book it out and away you go. I'm thoroughly enjoying getting back into it, and it's nice that it's not ball achingly expensive. Like, people who play it complain about how expensive it's got, but coming from this shit, it's quite nice to just go, £25, lovely, happy days, I've got something.
And it's funny because like I was saying to Ian earlier, we it was his birthday today, and we didn't have a lot planned. We booked a because I live sort of fairly near the sea, and we booked a beach hut, and we were going to spend the day there, and people were going to come and visit. And then we looked at the weather and saw it was 45-mile-an-hour winds today, and we were like, no, fuck that. It's not going to be good. That's going to be us with the doors shut.
Yeah.
It's just like going, why are we here? So very nicely they've allowed us to move it on till next week. But so we're a bit stuck for what to do. So we've got like a place called Nerd Base near where I live, and it's kind of on one of these places where they've got all these like vintage auction antiques and bits and pieces like that, and this is just kind of in the middle of them, and it's really good. I've been a few times, and it's not really my bag because it's mostly smaller stuff and vintage loose bits and pieces, but I like going around and having a look and everything. And they've kind of started getting into Hot Toys, but a bit like the place that you went to, Ian, they've got
an interesting take on the price.
Like they had Mandalorian in there, the Tusken Raider, £270. I mean, that's and like the Rogue, the Shore Trooper, the from the Mandalorian was like £255, and I'm thinking that's even more than like the UK resellers kind of thing. But anyway,
that's a lot.
They've got a lot of vintage Kenner Star Wars stuff, and like in boxes, and the boxes aren't perfect, whatever, but they had like a Millennium Falcon, and it was 340 quid, and I think that's not that bad actually. In terms of what we're paying, right? Some figures are pushing 300. The Iron Mans and stuff, and you think, well, actually, if I'm not going to, but if I did decide to sort of set up and get into, I could buy a lot of stuff, from vintage Kenner and bits and pieces like that. So it is expensive, but as you say, when you've been in the 1/6 game for long enough, things seem relatively cheap, and you're like, actually, that's all right. People, what?
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly. Like when I think about some hobbies I've had, I think actually this ain't too bad.
Yeah,
this is okay.
Yeah,
I can do this.
So,
I can do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
right.
And you've got absolutely fuck all in it, Shane.
I don't even know why you allowed me to come on, to be honest. Especially that, I know you're very sensitive and you're snowflakes, and I'm going to use some choice language, you're just going to kick me out,
I know.
No, I got nothing. But why I got nothing? Because everything's been fucking delayed. You know what I mean? It's like whether it's Sideshow or whoever.
I was saying that as well. I've got everything that was supposed to hit in Q1 has all been moved to Q2 or Q3. So we're going to get to a point where we're going to have 5-hour shows at some point. So we're just going to have to sub people in and drop out and everything. But it's going to get busy. But
I was expecting. Well, I wasn't expecting it this week. I knew it wasn't coming this week. But even at the start of the year, maybe I was thinking, Cable, maybe a snow speeder, Luke. Boba Fett 2-pack.
Yeah.
But nope.
Nope. I know.
Wait and see. Yeah.
Well, look, let's have a look at some of the new stuff that has actually come out.
New this fortnight.
No, this one.
New releases.
That's the one. You weren't technically wrong. It probably has come out in the last fortnight. But
I'm one day I'll go one whole show without fucking up the running order. But then it just wouldn't be us. So it wouldn't be us. So for those listening at home, the suspense is probably killing you. This is the Clone Wars Maul for £250, and for an extra £20, you get this extra long neck.
Is that the DX version?
Well, I think what it was a mistake when they made the box, because when they put him in, he couldn't actually see out the vision panel.
They had to just extend the neck.
They just added an extra 2 inches on the neck.
Problem solved.
Job done.
Don't make the box smaller. Don't make the box smaller. Take the expensive figure.
Or don't add something to his legs. Just put it on the neck.
Give him a go. Give him a Go Gadget Sith neck, and he's fine. So this is 250 quid. I quite like it, but I don't like the old man head sculpt on it, which is ludicrous because it makes perfect sense, because at this point he's closer to the solo story age that we saw him at than anything. But I don't get why the body's so smooth. I think that's what throws me off, is the head is quite textured, the body's super smooth. So I've seen people put the original DX19 head on. Is it 19? The DX Maul head on, and looks
16,
really good.
17 was the
16, 17,
Menace one,
it's a 17.
So I've seen people put that on. It looks really good. I'm just not a fan of the old man head on it, if I'm honest. But the rest looks great. It ticks a box. It does nothing.
Yeah, and I suppose that
offensive.
might be a good use for people that have got the DX16 or 17 and they've got the spare head sculpt and they didn't put it on an extra body. And you're going to pick this up. Then it's good. Good use for that. But I think it looks okay. It's.
I mean, I prefer the legs off of the solo story one.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But obviously this is what it was like in the Clone Wars, and
these are a lot more simplified.
Ticks the box.
Whereas the solo one's got all the pistons and gadgets
wires
and cables
and
and stuff. Yeah, it looks really good. But it's okay. It's not a line.
Hairy body. He's got the hairs on his chest, man.
Has he?
Yeah.
I noticed that, but it's that typical toy thing where they just scratch a little bit of scratch a few marks in, and you're like, okay, where's the hair gone?
That's right. I don't know that. I don't think any of us are buying it, but it's not bad.
I'd pick one up, but I'm just not spending 250 quid on it.
No,
if I'm honest. And with and again with Sideshow doing their Clone Wars line, if they nail those bodies, all this becomes irrelevant to me, because I'd just be going and if they did a Clone Wars version, I'd be all over that. So
yeah.
Because I've always said from day one, I'm not a massive fan of the live action versions of the Clone Wars stuff.
No,
like, give me all the other stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it's an odd
give me
choice.
Yeah. So yeah, generally that's something we're not going to be picking up.
I think it's the weakest of the three. Do you know, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Out of the three, definitely.
Yeah.
DX17 with the Sith speeder, that would be, if I wanted to get one, that's
definitely the best one. Yeah.
I was lucky because when I picked up mine when it first came out, I managed to pick up another body and clothing for it for like, I think it was like 120-30 quid.
Yeah.
So I can display both. A couple of times I've said I only need one more and tried to sell the body, but people are like, I'll give you 60 quid for it, and I'm like, no, I'd rather just keep it, thanks.
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather you fuck off and suck a dick, and I keep that. Like at that point, I would literally just take it to the bottom of the garden, stomp it to death, and burn it. Like, I'm not getting rid of it for 60 fucking quid. No, not happening. So, away from Star Wars a second. These mystery photos dropped. Do you like that? Mystery photos with the wave of the hand. So these mystery photos dropped today. So this is meant to be the Present Toys Indie at long last.
Yeah.
If it is, then well played. I like that. I like it a lot.
Yeah, it feels like we've been talking about this every show for a while now, because there was some, people saying that Toys Wonderland had sent out the invoices for it, and then Kit was saying, well, it's not even out yet, so why are they doing that? But these are obviously the best look we've had at them. So it's suggesting that they are ready to go, and I know that some people are saying they have had invoices from other distributors now. So yeah, I mean, we've talked about it before. Their casts of the Inigo sculpts, the grinning one, smiling one was pixelated out on the solicitations for the pre-order, but obviously you could make out what it was. Yeah, they're not bad. They're obviously not as good as having the actual Inigo ones custom painted, but then that head's going to cost you more than the figure. I think that it looks like the hat appears to be a Hot Toys recast or copy. It looks to be that sort of softer material, than and yeah, it looks okay. I mean, the jacket, it's a bit shiny. The lapels are a bit big. But you could probably make it look a lot better than that with a bit of weathering and bits and pieces. And for the price, I think it's probably about, it's around the 170 mark, 160, 170.
Less than that, I think. It was sitting around 150, I think, last time we.
So I don't think people should be scared to kind of hit it up and try and do a bit of weathering on it. Obviously, can't see the rest of the outfit. I'd be interested to see what the boots look like. Whether they're kind of copies of the Hot Toys ones, which were obviously a material rather than a sculpted plastic. But yeah, from what we can see, I think you can work with it. And
I think it's a decent base.
It's a good base, and then like you can start swapping bits and pieces out if you want. So you could go looking for a custom jacket if you wanted one, or whatever. And there's so many options out there, but I think there hasn't been a good base indie for a long time, and the DX5 is so old now and mostly fucked even if you get one that's purported to be new and you've paid 500 quid for it. So I look forward to seeing people getting this in hand actually, and
I'm tempted. Looking at these photos, I'm very, very.
You probably
tempted.
won't find one now.
No, and if you do, it probably cost you a fucking fortune.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a bit like that. The Cajun card dealer, the So Toys, that you can't get for love of money now, and you're paying twice the price for it. And I think this could be up there if it comes out as good as this. Although I don't want that one top right. His hat looks a bit wonky.
Yeah, it does. It looks like someone's just cut the front of his hat off. Yeah,
what'd be interesting to see is when I see when people have got them, the Hot Toys hat had a very little like kink in the front of the brim there, and they all had it, so it was in the mould and it was part of the thing. So it'd be interesting to see when I see some more, like, because you can kind of imagine it's there. There's something, but when I see some high def close ups, then obviously that will confirm whether or not it's actually a recast of the Hot Toys.
And
hat.
if you can remove the hat as well,
correct.
If they glued
I think
on.
people are saying you can't. Because somebody put something like, "Oh, I'm a fan of the removable hat," so I think they're both fixed. I think you're getting two hats, which is good as well. If you're getting the two hats and with the two heads as well,
but then you just heat it up with a hairdryer; it'll come off. Like
you can get it off. But then obviously underneath that, you're not going to have, I don't know if people are saying that they like the function of the original Hot Toys one, where you had the swappable hair piece. Obviously, with these, they're just going to be
bald,
like yourself, underneath there.
It's when I take a fedora off, it's like this.
You can't get that hat on if you've got hair under it. So it's not really very useful to take the hat off anyway. So I think in a way it's good that you're getting two complete sculpts with hats, because then that's a good point if you want to make a second indie. It's a very good starting point, because the head sculpt is always the difficult thing. If you're going down the custom route, that's a very expensive. A difficult part to get hold of if they're not doing runs.
Harrison Ford's always really hard, a really hard likeness to capture. Like,
definitely.
If I'm honest, I think Inigo's the only one who's really come close. There's no other one.
Yeah, nobody's nailed it.
No,
and I think Inigo's. I think that smiling sculpt is the closest, is the best. I think likeness of Harrison. Obviously, this is going to probably have lost.
Years ago.
Back in the day, they did the
ago,
DX05, so it was back in 2010.
What they did was
came out.
Yeah, they effectively said, we're not going to do an Indiana Jones, we're going to do you his stunt double, and gave you him instead. The sculpt's not great on it at all.
It had purs, and so that ruined it really, and it had like guy liner and big eyelashes and stuff like that. So
forgot about the guy liner.
People used to repaint it and stuff, and it improved it a little bit, but but it was the very first. It was the first Hot Toys I ever bought, and obviously, back in 2011, it absolutely blew me away. But we're a long way from there now. But that was my first indie, and I just, it got to the point it was like Trigger's broom. It just bits got replaced, and I think the only stuff that was ever left was the shoes. Is the only thing that I would take from the original DX05 would be the shoes. The hat's okay. I prefer the Inigo hats. Maybe the web belt, because web belts are very difficult, as Dean wouldn't know. They're very difficult to come by.
Bastard to get hold of.
Yeah, they are.
If you want one with a Nazi symbol on, fill your fucking boots. Yeah, there's hundreds of them on eBay. Of them. Yeah. But you can't seem to get that web belt just with a plain bit. You can't.
It's really difficult. So, but yeah. So no, I'm quite pleased to see it. It looks like it's turned out well. So we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. And then we mentioned this on the last show. The Lego DeLorean. It came out and sold out like that straight away. Boom.
It did.
Not surprised. Not surprised.
Straight away, 150 notes, and now it's on eBay for $200 to $250. I wasn't surprised that it went as quickly as it did. It's probably the best Lego set I've seen in a very long time. At first glance, you'd struggle to know that it was Lego because of how smooth it is, particularly on that middle photo of the webpage. I absolutely love it. And I'm kind of kicking myself I didn't jump on it.
Yeah, it'll be back. It's only a temporary, they'll be doing a restock. But obviously, this always happens with these. We knew it would happen that, it probably a bit like with the Falcon. I think it was probably a limit of 3 per person, and people probably bought 3 and stuck 2 on eBay 100%. To pay for and I've done it. I did it with the Falcon and stuff like that. So it's dumb practice, and obviously if you're that desperate, then you pay that money. That's fine.
You just pay it, didn't you?
But it will come back. It'll be back soon. I unfortunately didn't buy it. I did and ah about it, and my finger triggered over my finger hovered over the trigger. I didn't go for it in the end. And then obviously I saw a bit later on that day that it had sold out. But I think if I didn't have the Hot Toys one, I'd have been all over it. But obviously I have a better. This would be fun. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to build it, and it looks great. But obviously I have a better representation of it. So I was like, you know what? It's 150 quid. I don't think that's bad for a Lego set, but I haven't got money like that just hanging around. So I thought, no, I'll leave it for now. That's not to say that I might not pick it up in a few years if I can get one, you know.
And I think that's why I didn't in the end, because like I say, if you've got the Hot Toys DeLorean, you kind of look at other versions of the DeLorean and go, nah, don't need it.
No, I think it'd be fun to build and that, and it'd be like, yeah. So, great set, and it will be back. So, unless you're really desperate, don't pay silly eBay prices.
Scalper prices,
yeah. But, no, it's a cool set, definitely. And
so that was pretty much it.
Yeah, yep.
That was it. 3 things, and one of them's Lego. And one of them was just a fucking photo of something yet to come out, really. So yeah. So let's look at more shit that's gonna come out.
Coming soon.
I don't know if anyone knows about Moon Knight, but yeah, it's out. Well, it's coming soon. So Hot Toys Moon Knight, 225 quid. Out July 2023 to December 2023. Wow. A fucking 6-month window now.
That is a big
and they're all
window.
like that. They're all like that.
They're giving themselves
since the Batman figures.
I think they're giving themselves that buffer, aren't they? You know,
but like the Batman, the Signal, the Bat Cycle, the new Loki, they're all like that. But I reckon this will still be Christmas present next year. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
My problem with the 6-month windows is that particularly with the TV series stuff, so they've shown this now. They put it up for pre-order. It's on TV now, so it's relevant. It's in everyone's faces.
Yeah.
Give it 6 months' time when we've all watched it, and then they delay it further. Are people going to be bothered? Are they really going to want it anymore? Like that's the thing in the back of my head now, is that it's like Loki. You know, we're going to talk about it in a bit, but it's a great figure. Looks fantastic. Lovely pajamas, but
yeah, I think unless they get,
I'm done with it. Like I don't fucking.
Unless they get really lucky and this does well and it gets a second season and it happens to coincide a bit like Venom did with the with the second Venom film. It did give it a bit of a boost that it might not have had, but I think that was just pure luck, chance.
Pure luck. Yeah.
It was definitely. It was fortunate timing for Hot Toys, and that might happen with this, or it might be a single series. It might not do well. People go, I love it now, but as you say, in 18 months' time, like,
it just really... to me as well. It just looks really plasticky.
Yeah, it's difficult to see what is actually what's soft goods and what's plastic. To be honest,
it looks like a blown up Marvel's Legend to me. I'm not that impressed with it, if I'm honest. And for fuck's sake, why give us such a big stand? I hate that. Yeah, because most
like
collectors, the moon part's good.
The moon.
But those, I'll tell you what, I've got probably 5 of those stands that will sit in a cupboard, and I don't use them because they take up too much room.
Yeah,
I've got giant display cases, way too much room. The footprint is way too big. If you've got a Detolf, that's it. That's your shelf done. You're not getting anything else on that shelf.
Yeah.
And the height as well with the flight pole just makes it all a little bit too big. When they've already shown us that they can do flight poles on a standard base, so just give us that.
Is that meant to be? Is that like a 1-to-1 sickle thing there? The one at the back. It looks like it might be scaled 1-to-1. Yeah.
I mean, we'll talk about the show later, but this just looks too plasticky.
Yeah, exactly. Like all the wraps on his face that's all sculpted plastic, isn't it? And the hood, it's got to be.
I think if they did it bandagey though, I think it would just look so poofy. Like, how do you, like? I presume they're bandages that wrap around them. Yeah, I think that's the gist of it.
Yeah, but the problem, the way this looks to me is it looks like a really bad 3D print. because because obviously they've tried to do the texture of the cloth.
Yeah.
So it just looks like loads of little layer lines on the
I get you.
on the little seat.
I'm with you. I get you.
Yeah.
But I think some of that's paintwork, so I think it just needs a bit of a wash to bring out these details.
Yeah, they can do it because the wrappings on the Mando, on the Tusken Raider, fine.
They're all plastic.
Tusken.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the texture's really good on them. And like the sideshow one that I painted, the sideshow recast, so they can do it. And as you say, it might just be the paintwork on it looks.
It could even be the photos, because if you look at the head sculpt on the right, it looks very bright. So if I don't know if there was any sort of light or flash, if that bounced back, it would wash out some of the details. But
this looks to me like that's the colour of the plastic. The colour of the plastic is that weird off-white, and that they put a couple of washes and stuff over it. I bet if you cut into that, it would all be that kind of grey, whitey colour. So it just looks as
he's really white in the other shots, isn't he? Down the
it
bottom.
looks blue on the left.
And
yeah,
it's odd.
Yeah,
is that him in the moonlight? Is that what that? I mean,
possibly. Yeah.
Maybe,
the blue moon.
Don't know. yeah.
I mean, I like the program. I'm just not. The thing is, it doesn't help because I'm done with Marvel, so it's not like I'm.
No.
This doesn't drag me back into Marvel.
No, it won't drag you back in. Yeah.
So
I've never bought one from the. Never bought a Marvel figure from any of the TV shows because I've never found any of the TV shows make me want to watch them again.
No,
but like
the one
if this
and done.
blows me over, I might.
Yeah. That's what we talk about all the time, isn't it? Like who's still buying Breaking Bad figures and Walking Dead and stuff like that, because it's. I mean, I know Walking Dead's still on, but we tend to find that perhaps I think the Mandalorian has kind of broken that mold a little bit. I think that will. That's different because it's Star Wars and because it kind of ties into the original trilogy in bits and pieces. But things like this, I think they're going to be. And if it's the only figure that from the series, you've got that one figure. Who do you put him with? So
and the show, but the Mandalorian, even like personally, the standard of the Mandalorian, it's just a better story, better action compared to the Marvel TV shows. That's just personal preference.
Yeah, I've not been blown away with any of those Marvel, and I tell you what, that Ms. Marvel looks terrible. I watched the trailer for it. It's like teenage girls, Marvel.
It's the Disney effect, man.
Don't look great. So, 3 guesses what my cat's fucking done again.
Oh no, he's pissed.
Again.
Done a piss by the door.
Every fucking episode. So again, give me 5 minutes while I sort that out.
I admire
the little
consistency.
bastard.
Yeah.
I know, exactly.
Yeah.
Little bastard. I put tinfoil down and everything.
That was a birthday present for Pete, was it?
That's beautiful. Thank you for me.
Yeah. Cat's got you something, Pete. So I will be back in.
Oh, that is awful.
Okay, we should.
We'll
carry on.
Poor Ian.
Oh, mate, I bet it stinks.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. So, moving on, more Marvel. Also, we're out of Marvel. So, but it's the tease for Electro from Spider-Man: No Way Home. So it's Jamie Foxx as Electro. He's kind of got a new outfit, and he's so it's just a kind of mid torso shot, a little bit of his face, electrical effects and bits and pieces around him. We haven't got a full pre-order solicitation or pricing or anything yet.
Tomorrow.
It's quite surprising, isn't it? Because we didn't think they'd go too deep into it. We've had obviously the Doc Ock and the Green Goblin, and yeah.
I think I thought they were going to make this. To be honest, I did because if you look at the parts, like it looks very reminiscent of Whiplash.
Yeah.
Stark Tech reactor.
Yeah.
Some sort of harnesses, electricity. So I thought because of that and the fact that
they're probably the effects from the Miles Morales figure. Those they look very similar.
Yeah.
The yellow electricity.
Yeah, I've not gone on that style of effect. I typically don't use them.
No,
I think
I've not used it on mine.
They make these classy figures look a bit like too toyetic, like kind of cheapens them a bit, I think.
I agree, yeah. Yeah, the
But
effects haven't.
I do like this though. From what I can see, I hope the head sculpt is.
Yeah, it's quite
the
funny
head
because I
sculpt's on
think
point.
the original, he's the character that he, the Electro version that he played in Amazing Spider-Man 2 was everyone hated it, and that was one of those figures that just you couldn't give away kind of thing. But then obviously it was an odd one because it had like the blue head, the light up head, and what have you.
Yeah.
Whereas obviously this one is a straight off Jamie Foxx head sculpt, so it's got the potential to be like a better figure, I think. But yeah, it's probably not one. I think you're only going to buy him if you're getting the other two guys as well. And,
I am.
Whatever
So
Spider-Man
I think
comes,
I am. Yeah.
yeah, you wouldn't have him on his own, but
Yeah, I'm looking forward to, like, I'm going to get the Doc Ock. I do think they're going to fix that head sculpt.
Yeah,
because with Queen putting him under pressure, I'm waiting for that the purple hoodie battle damage torn look. Like you haven't released it yet, but I think they're going to announce that. With the torn hoodie and the battle damage kind of not the kind of bit the look of Green Goblin in the second half of the film.
Yeah.
I reckon that's going to be a Toy Fair exclusive this year, to be honest.
It's funny, because you forget about those. Yeah, there's normally 3 or 4 figures.
Hopefully, and they're usually a bit more not the straightforward type of
correct.
figure. Sometimes,
Yeah.
This, I just need that head sculpt to be on point. Like, all done.
All done. What a wanker! Don't get a cat. He's an
Are you
arsehole.
talking about me or the cat?
A little bit from column A and a little bit from column B.
Fair point.
So what are we talking about? Electro?
Yeah, Electro. Yeah. Shane's keen on these. He's looking at getting this band of villains from No Way Home. So
I just want them to complete the line. Complete it. Give me all the villains. Don't give me 3. If there's 5 of them, give me all of them, and I'll be happy.
I've no interest in the other ones, to be honest, and I don't think they're going to do them. But if I had the 3, like I was just saying to Pete there, if they announced the kind of hobo version of the Green Goblin, and they fixed that head sculpt from Doc Ock, which I do think because Queen are putting them under pressure.
Yeah.
And this head sculpt turns out good. Yeah. The only thing about this though, I can't see myself using the electricity effects, and then it's like, is he really Electro if he doesn't have effects? Like, so it's
yeah.
like you could have him pose pre-charge, like, you know what I mean, as if like he was just about to charge up. Yeah.
I must admit, I never use any of the effects ever. I think the only ones I've used are probably the flame effect from Mando.
Yes, they're good.
The jetpack, yeah,
they're good.
Other than that, I don't bother. I think the only one that I think looks pretty good that you could get away with was probably the lightning off of the Flash that kind of stuck to his body.
Yeah.
That was pretty good, and I've seen people use that on the Predator for when he's like decloaking.
Yeah. Problem I find with it though is I had that So Toys Flash, and a lot of them snapped. They were quite brittle, and because you've got to kind of get them round the arm or round the leg, they're very easy to snap. And I don't
see
know
the Hot Toys ones were fine.
They're better.
They
I mean,
were
I've
really
got the Miles
soft,
figure, but I've just left all those in the box. But if they're softer and they're a bit pliable, then that's probably fine.
The problem I mainly have with a lot of the effects is that you've got this like £200-300 figure, and suddenly you put these little bits of plastic on, and it instantly makes it look like a toy.
Exactly.
It doesn't, and that's the thing.
It does.
Yeah,
takes you out of it.
It cheapens them. It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Have you seen the lightning effects you get with the Emperor?
Yeah.
They are so fucking big. Like,
yeah,
you've
they
got
are,
no chance of ever using them in any kind of display case
they're about
without
foot
having
long,
to
aren't
have
they?
him go like that.
Yeah.
They're so fucking long.
They
Like, how
are.
fucking far away was Luke when he electrocuted him? I swear to God, he weren't that far away. It's almost like if you took the divide in a DTOF down, it's like he's shooting into the next cube. It's ridiculous.
You could pose the Emperor in the DTOF in one room, and then Luke could be at the other room at the end of the electricity.
Yeah.
Mate, they're that fucking big. You could pose Luke upstairs and he'd still fucking reach them. Like, they are so long. It's insane. But I'm not a massive fan of like sticking all this shit on a figure, because 9 out of 10 times you've got to kind of balance it on, and it just never looks good.
Do you know what would look cool, right? Let's say, like, I'm the same as Joe. I don't want to use these electricity effects if the character is electro.
Yeah.
If they do the USB power right, and it just powers up the arc reactor and even the eyes, and you could have him pose slightly levitating as if he was just about to charge up. I think that would look really cool.
That could look good.
Especially for the other two.
Yeah. Yeah, that could work. They need to get better with USBs and stuff, but the problem with stuff like this is I don't think you will ever get. They'd have to completely redesign a new body.
Yeah.
This, they can give you a generic body, just a different colour, and away they go. Otherwise, they've got to design a whole new body for that arc reactor, or try and modify some of the old Tony Stark ones. So yeah, but they need to get better with
Could
USB.
they not run a wire from this arc reactor somewhere, like even into these yellow wires here, and just around the back somewhere, and have like a connection there, or just hide it somehow under something? Whereas
Potentially, you could have it coming. They'd
Yeah.
probably have it coming out the back of the neck or something. Because I don't think they'd run it down like a boot or anything like that.
Yeah.
Because
Like
you wouldn't
there are
want
wires
it.
and pipes. See the pipe on his waist even or something.
Yeah.
If they were clever about it, they're strategic. Because then it wouldn't be in the body, then it would be on the harness.
Yeah, because ideally you'd want a wire hidden somewhere that doesn't bend. So you know when you get like running down arms and stuff, like you've just got to be careful with the bending of the arm. But
Are you
yeah,
talking
I
about
think it could
lighting
work.
the actual electricity effects, or just the arc reactor? and
Oh,
the
I was
lights?
just talking about the arc reactor, yeah. Cause,
Yeah, I
sorry, I'm
don't
being
think
really
you could,
selfish because I won't be using those effects. Like,
No.
unless they do something different, that I'd be like, okay, no, that actually looks good. But I can't see.
Yeah,
them
I think you
lighting
can.
up.
I think you can get away with those sort of effects on a Marvel Legends or a figure that's completely plastic because it's the same
Yeah.
media. But when you've got mixed media and you've got cloth outfits and stuff, it just looks rubbish.
and it always, no matter what you're trying to show, it always looks very much like it's liquid, as opposed to, it's like Big Bird's jizzed all over him. It's not. It's not like.
Or
It
he's
doesn't look like
almost he's on
lightning.
fire. It almost looks
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his shoulders and his head is
Yeah.
on fire.
Yeah,
Is-
it's a big bird bukkake. It's just not. It just don't look great. Not a fan
That is
of
the
it
strangest alliteration I've ever heard.
I
In
know.
my life.
It's quite disturbing, actually.
You do realise
Yeah.
you might be demonetized, man.
myself. Be fine. I think we'd be fine with that. I don't think Big Bird has a problem with that. He seems quite kinky.
Nah, he's grand.
Yeah. So let's have a look while we're on the Marvel train at
Yep.
the Hot Toys Classic Loki. So £225, April 2023 to September 2023. He's a happy chappy.
Very happy. Yep.
A very, very happy chappy. I mean, if they'd released this, well, if they put it up for solicitation at the same time when the program was on, when all the hype
Yep.
was there, I think a lot of people would have jumped on it and been like, fucking fantastic. It's cool. I just can't see where most people would put it in their collection. That's the problem I have with it.
No.
I think this is one for the comic book fans who want the representation of the classic Loki.
Yeah.
So maybe people might be picking this up, and then maybe the comic book Iron Man and things like that, who are like just maybe exclusively comics. Maybe it's one of them.
Yeah, because I think most people probably wouldn't, but like say comic wise,
Yeah.
you could fudge it in and it would look fine. I mean, the sculpt's really good, like the shrink rate good.
Yeah.
The more I look at it, the more I mean, the stoic head, oddly enough, it's the other way around as it normally is. So the stoic head, I think is probably the weaker of the two. Mm-hmm. The grinning, I'm gonna fuck you up head, spot on. Like, I think is great. And the little crocodile and the little jar with the toad in and stuff.
Yeah.
Are really good. Really good. But they were saying something like in one of the pictures he's got like a cup or something in his hand.
Yeah.
A grail, yeah.
Taking it out.
Yeah. And they said, no, you can't have that. You're not allowed the grail. Which I was like,
That's
what?
Disney.
Yeah.
It's a
I
Disney.
don't,
It's just weird. You can't drink alcohol. No. It's like, well, why
Yeah,
does it
probably.
have to have? It could just. Yeah. It's.
Yeah,
yeah,
you
it's
can
getting a bit-
vaporize a city, but you cannot drink alcohol.
Yeah, but you can't have a drink. You can't have a tipple.
No.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? This kind of sanitisation of everything.
And you can probably own a gun as well, man. But like,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, as many guns as you like.
Have a drink. Yeah. You can buy a gun at 16.
It's kind of like South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. Like, you know, you can show deplorable violence, but you can't say naughty words.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Nuts, man.
Yeah. But, no, I think it looks good, but I think it's very much a kind of a niche piece, and people might go, I really like that, but then it might be one of those figures where down the line you're kind of like, I'm not really sure where to put this, and that TV show was a bit forgettable, and again, it kind of falls into that.
Because So Toys are doing this as well, aren't they?
They are. Yeah.
So for me, 225 versus 150 for just spitballing for the So Toys.
Yeah.
For a tertiary character that was only in a couple of episodes, 225 is a lot of money, and that's without postage and import and all of that. So you're going to be pushing nearer 275 by the time you paid all of that.
And So Toys will beat this out by a year as well.
So Toys, it'd be out in a year. It'd be 150 quid to your door, all in.
This is the thing. It'll be way ahead of this. So unless you absolutely love this, and you want what will be the better rendition, I've no doubt. But yeah, if you want it, you want it now, and you want it a better price, then the So Toys one looks really good as well. But no, nothing wrong with it. But I think it's an odd one. Again, to what you're going to fit it in, unless you want to pick up one of those third-party, Wanda and Ultron in their kind of original comic outfits.
You see, when we talk about how bad things are delayed, and we know a lot of that isn't to do with their workload; it's to do with the current situation. It's when they're releasing stuff like the characters like this, and you're still waiting for other figures that have been massively delayed that are arguably more iconic characters. It does make you wonder, like if Hot Toys would just calm it down slightly. You don't have to make everything. Just it does make you wonder if one of the reasons that we see these delays is because they're like, we'll have one of these and we'll have one of them, we'll have one of them and one of them and one of them and one of them, one of them, and they've got themselves in a bit of bother where they can't possibly keep up. So Punisher XS, Hot Toys Classic Loki is next level. I'd say it's right up there with Queen Studios Joker. That grinning sculpt, I agree. I think it's really, really good. The Stoic, not so much. But each to their own. And while we're on sculpts, Hot Toys Wenwu, they've updated the sculpt.
Yeah.
I wasn't offended by it in the first instance, but this does look better. I think it looks pretty good. They put side by side with the actor, and it looked pretty good. Again, it's just not a character that I can ever see myself picking up. As much as I enjoyed the film, the films were good, but it's just not for me, I'm afraid. But it's good that they've.
These are both the toy, yeah.
Yes.
All right. I thought you said this is side by side with the actor.
No. They showed a side by side next to them.
Yeah, that's just the same picture. I just zoomed it in so you could see it.
All right, yeah. Cool. So I was like, man, that is so impressive. In fairness, it is very impressive.
It is very
and what's
good.
Nice, they didn't have to be asked to improve it. They just, that's the Queen Studios effect as well. It has to be. It has to be just, all right, we need to make sure we're still the king or whatever.
Well, I hope we start to see more of them tweaking stuff when they know things aren't quite right. But I think the thing is the Queen Studio stuff. I mean, it's great that they're about, and it's great that they're pushing Hot Toys, because Hot Toys have now started to show renders of stuff as well, which they've never done before. But I think most people would just be happy with Hot Toys if they just released their shit on time.
Oh,
didn't give you such big windows. Well, I think Queen Studios are going to potentially be the next big thing if they can stick to their schedules. we all understand there will be delays, but if they said we're going to get you a figure in 3 months and you end up having to wait 4 or 5 months, acceptable, not a problem. No one really like bats an eyelid at that. But when we're looking at 2-year delays in some cases, I mean, look at Gamora and people and figures like that. You tend to think, and particularly when we're pushing 300 quid now.
Yeah.
So you need to be able to give people that consistency with releases so they can budget. Because it isn't like when we first started where you could potentially, some months, you know, you'd pick up something brand new, you pick up a couple of like second-hand things off the groups, and the second-hand stuff, Hot Toys you were picking up would be like 110, 120.
Yeah.
Not a problem, you know, and you were moving stuff and buying stuff and stuff like that. But that's where I think Queen Studios has the potential to take a lot of my money if they're reliable, consistent, and they don't go, we're going to release this. Oh, do you know that background figure that was in it for 2 seconds? That as well. And then grind themselves to a halt, kind of like Hot Toys have. And I understand we've had pandemics and there's rolling blackouts in Hong Kong and all that kind of stuff. But it just doesn't, Hot Toys don't help themselves.
No.
That's the thing with that. So, Caffeinated Comic Fan, love the name. Queen will be fast because the production volume has to be tiny compared to Hot Toys. Are we talking per figure or in total? Because if we're talking in total, then Hot Toys have only got themselves to blame with that. If we're talking per figure, looking at the amount of people I've seen who have said, I've pre-ordered the Queen Studios Joker, there's probably more than not. So it would surprise me if the volume was tiny compared to Hot Toys. But we shall see. We shall see. And Lane, I agree, when Woo looks great. So yeah. Per figure without feeding Sideshow's demand. I don't think they need Sideshow. I really don't. Looking at the demand that's whipped up from showing those initial photos, I don't think they even need Sideshow. Every other place is stocking it. Everyone's buying it. I don't think it's even a consideration at this point, if I'm honest.
And with Sideshow comes that Sideshow tax, so it'll probably be a bit more expensive, I'd imagine, if they were to ship it or were to carry it eventually when they get that license, or if they get that license.
Every other retailer seems to have it. It's only Sideshow that doesn't seem to have it. Yeah. So they're putting out, and they've also put the rooted one back up for pre-order on a lot of websites as well. So there's obviously more coming in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I might be wrong, but to me it doesn't even seem a consideration. So Sideshow Animated Yoda, 130 quid at December 2022 to March 2023. I love this. I think this looks absolutely really fantastic. Obviously, that's 130 quid without postage and fees and all of that on top. So you're probably going to be looking at 180 all in by the time you paid everything. I haven't pre-ordered it purely because I want to see what Obi-Wan and Anakin look like.
Yeah, at least it's promising that they're really, they're announcing other figures from that, because obviously those figures seem to be a bit delayed, and there's always that kind of like, are they going to come out? But so at least if they're announcing other figures, then it's a bit more promising.
The thing is, you've got Grievous hanging over everything 6 scale Sideshow ever does now. So I'm very much like, right, I need Obi-Wan and Anakin in hand, and I need to see how good those bodies are before I invest in the rest of it. So in respect to this body, this will just be a generic. I forgot Yoda. Fuck me, I forgot Yoda's name. That's sacrilege. This will be just a generic Yoda body. They've done 3 of them before, and this body doesn't look stylized at all. It just looks like it's going to peg in exactly like the other ones, and away you go. So, because the thing is, even if this body is absolutely fucking fantastic, if the other 2 are horseshit, I'm never going to pick it up. So I really need those other 2 before I start to do it.
That's basic level stuff as well. As in, like, okay, a lot of people who are I don't care because I'm not into Clone Wars, but I know there's a massive following in there who are into Clone Wars, and like some people like get the Hot Toys ones, which are more like photorealistic, but some people, like you said earlier on, you probably prefer this one because it's more accurate to the animated show. But like if they just do the basics, a figure that can stand on its own, a figure that can hold the lightsaber on its own, a figure that isn't like a Thunderbird basically when it comes to the joints, you know what I mean? Like then they're on a winner, like, because people will buy this, the reviewers will say, yeah, the body's actually quite stiff, it holds up, they can stand, and then you can just open up a line, clones their version of Ahsoka, whatever they want to do, like, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, because I think that's what's holding people back at the moment is, okay, because at this point, Obi and Anakin should have been out. They should have been out in February.
Yeah, it's the thing, yeah.
So at this point, I would have had them, and I would have made my decision whether or not they were good or bad, or if there was even anything I even wanted. I'll buy this and glue the joints to the pose like a statue if it's loose. Obi and Anakin and what dynamic. You might as well buy a statue then. The statue versions of all of this. I'm not buying a 6-scale figure to glue shit in place. Like, it needs to be able to move. I need to be. Sometimes I walk past my display case and I'll just tweak something. That's part of the joy of collecting 6-scale. You know, if I wanted something fixed, I would buy a statue with it. I get that you would probably, I get that you probably want, Obi and Anakin twiddling about, but in the Clone Wars, Yoda was he was spinning around like a fucking Catherine wheel. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So like, he's the one I'd probably want to be a little bit more dynamic. But I just need them to just nail the other two, and I'll be quite happy to instantly put a pre-order down for this, because I think it looks fantastic. It really does.
If you did buy this one, would you be looking to sell your other Yoda?
No. No. I'd still keep my other Yoda because I like the Clone Wars films and I like the prequels. So it's that to me, I separate that. That's that, and then I have my Clone Wars animated side. So I'd still have it, although they are pretty much the same. Just one's animated and one's not. But yeah, just need them to just release the other two, and I'll be quite happy.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Asmus, Smeagol, and Gollum. Now this is the shit that will haunt your dreams.
I know, it's great, isn't it?
That is.
It's like a white version. It's been possessed.
Creepy. Yeah. It's the worst Tinder profile I've ever seen.
No, it's good. It's they've obviously Asmus are putting out either a 2-pack or 2 separate ones, either Smeagol or Gollum. It's been delayed. This went up for pre-order before old Bilbo, but it looks like they've swapped around a bit. So Bilbo is slated for release next month, I think, or end of this month, somewhere around there. And this one's been put back to June or July. But to be honest, I mean, you can see it's obviously taking more work than I think than the Bilbo one, because you've got the kind of the rooted hair there and bits and pieces, and it looks really good. I'm pleased to see, because I got this one. I've got the Smeagol on pre-order, and to me it looks really good. It's quite promising. Obviously, it looks really creepy with the just the white eyes.
It looks like something out of Evil Dead. I like it.
It does. It's like it's a Deadite kind of Gollum. But yeah, it looks really good, and I like the hair and stuff. So looking forward to that one. But I think they've kind of affected it. They've swapped old Bilbo and Smeagol Gollum around in their schedule. So the next one will be Bilbo, which I've also got on order. So good stuff. Good stuff. I like Asmus, like with Asmus. So I was going to. That's kind of the end of coming. Unless you guys got anything to say about this. I just thought of something else. What I'm going to try and do is share a different screen. Let me bear with me a sec, because I didn't do slides, and I suddenly thought, actually, this is worth looking at. So if I go to find the right one. Here we are.
What you got?
So we're
this is riveting for everyone listening at home.
Yeah. No, so we're talking.
Oh yeah, shit! I saw these.
EXO-6. So this is great. This is on Collector Freaks, and this is one of the most active forums on there. This one, which is the kind of the general Star Trek discussion. I love it, and it's like one of those ones where you go away and you come back the next day, and there's like 8 pages of comments have been added.
Yeah.
And so I scroll back through. So yeah, basically the strategy is crazy. Basically, Nanjin is looking. He's got like a 4-year project, and he's looking to get as many Trek figures out as he can, with the view that the company actually goes bust, because they'll come to a point where people aren't buying the niche figures anymore. So it's kind of like it's a finite thing. So they've got. So you've got here. You've got Janeway. You've got the Doctor from Voyager and stuff. So these are their kind of like what they call their sort of their
like
I don't know what
basic.
they call them, but they're their scheduled releases. And then because they've got this factory, he's saying that he can't afford to have that factory idle at any point. So they're then in these slots where they're not producing these mainline characters. They've got kind of capacity to make like filler figures where they've got less accessories and they're a bit more. And so the 2 that they're going to put up for pre-order probably next week. There's some sort of Star Trek show on next week, and they're going to show some figures. It basically is the motion picture Admiral Kirk and Spock in his Kolinahr Vulcan robes. As they both appear when they first set foot back on the Enterprise in the motion picture, and I love them. I
saw photos of the Spock on the groups, and it looked
I'm going to pull that up as well. So if I pull up one of the later screens, then they've got the picture of Spock. So there's so much. Look, there's so much discussion about colours and bits and pieces like this, but I just wanted to see if I can. It's going to be a 2-pack, so they're not going to be released separately. There he is. Looks really good.
That was the photo I saw.
Great. And there's this Star Trek mission Chicago, so they're going to be unveiling them there, and they're going to go on pre-order. They're going to be a double pack, but I mean, he's saying the price is going to be really good because they basically don't come with anything.
Just
there's no accessories. Yeah, so possibly somewhere around the 200 mark, maybe for the 220. Something like that. Maybe
it looks like we're going to get a Quark as well.
Yep, Quark. That's Locutus, and this is Rathacon Spock with the bell bottoms and bits and pieces like that. So some stuff that I'm really going to jump on because I'm a sucker for. The original series, Star Trek.
I want more Next Generation.
Yeah. It's all coming. It's all coming. You're going to get the full lot.
That's where I'll be.
They're all coming.
I'll be focusing.
He's basically said that he's going to put out a full kind of main crew for all of the Voyager, Deep Space Nine, Next Generation, and they're going to do all of the original series. Crew as well. So even though QMX did them, obviously that all got fucked up and a lot of people weren't able to get them. So they're going to do the full set again. So it's going to get quite expensive. If you think that this is like they're about a year into this 4-year plan and they're going to release, 50, 60, 70 figures in it. It is. And he keeps saying, prepare your wallets, this shit's coming. And so I would love to have... So they've basically said they're only going to do... from the motion picture, they're going to do Spock, they're going to do Kirk, which we've seen in that earlier picture. They are possibly going to do what they're calling Disco McCoy, which is when he comes on with his big beard and he's like disco outfit kind of thing. So that is a possibility. And they've also teased the captain's chair from the refit Enterprise. And it's got swap out panels or something if you want to change it to Rathacon. And again, Wrath of Khan will be, I think they're just saying it'll be Spock, Kirk, and McCoy again.
Have they said if they're going to touch anything from the new films?
No, not Kelvin.
Yeah.
Not and I don't think Discovery has been. Oh no, they have. No, because he did tease a picture of was it Michael Burnham, whatever the main. So no, nothing from the Kelvin verse as they call it. With the not to say that it might not, but I haven't seen anything.
Yeah.
Well, like someone's just put there. Look, are there any plans for figures from the 2009 movie? Well, I need to read these, 50 pages that I've seen now, so I might be able to answer that question. But yeah, you will get a full bridge crew for Voyager, DS9, Next Gen, and original series. So brace yourself, mate, if you do want to get all of them because they are coming.
Next Gen's my bag. That's what I want. I always go back to Next Gen.
Yeah, and the good thing with these is they're hitting like 2-3 month releases from when you pre-order them. Brilliant, and it's going to come thick and fast. So if you do want to, go on.
I would quite happily cancel 90% of my pre-orders and sell a whole chunk of my collection just to have that next generation bridge crew. Quite happily.
Cool. And also the other thing as well, they're kind of they're going to do 3 levels of some of the figures. So they're going to do kind of like a standard one, which comes with a few accessories. You'll have a deluxe one that comes with like some specific like scene or episode specific ones. So if you're like really into that character and really into that episode, you can get that. And they're going to do like a slim, like a bare bones one. So with 3 different price levels, so you can kind of go, I want this. So I like that as well, because if you just want to flesh out the the bridge crew, but you don't need something from this particular episode or whatever, you can just go with the bare bones one.
That's the thing. I like slim releases because since having a 3D printer, accessories don't really matter to me anymore.
Yeah, you can print them off.
I can do stuff. It's not a problem.
Very excited about XO6. I think they are the they're top of the tree at the moment for me in terms of my interest, and I've got to prepare myself to put in a pre-order for this Kirk and Spock 2-pack. So yeah, that's cool. So I'm going to go back to slides.
Cool. Well, it's got to that point where we need to thank people for keeping the lights on and keeping us here. So let's say a big thank you to Backdrops and Bases.
Backdrops and bases displays are printed directly to substrate on foam display board using UV matte inks, so there is no fade or glare. The nameplates are precision etched using their in-house laser machine. They offer a very bespoke service designing displays and nameplates to your requirements. You can contact Backdrops and Bases via their Facebook page, Backdrops and Bases.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you. So,
thank you as always.
Let's move swiftly into
Custom Corner.
Show us your tinkerings, Pete. What you been tinkering with?
Yeah. I mean, we're a bit light on Custom Corner. You didn't send me anything, so I don't think you've been tinkering with anything.
No, I had one of my best mates' wedding at the weekend, so I was not in a fit state to do anything. Nothing.
Brilliant.
Literally nothing at all.
A few sherries were consumed, were they?
Just from about 10 in the morning.
Yeah.
So, I was not in a fit state to be painting or fucking about with anything. I sat there quietly on Sunday and didn't want to talk to anyone, or just I was hot death.
Yeah. So as mentioned earlier, this is the second sculpt, the clean sculpt from the Dark Toys Rick figure, which is exactly the same as the bloodied one. The usual shave the top of his head off, so to get it to fit in the hat. So this is I don't love this hat. It's okay. I mean, these are more flattering angles. It's the Medicom one. So it's okay, but it's probably more better suited for Last Crusade or Temple of Doom than Raiders. But yeah, it's all right. So I basically just took the Dremel to it, and just cut away slowly using this hat as the template. So I suppose it might be a bit tricky swapping the hat with another one now, because obviously the line of the hat is not going to... I did pop an Indigo on it, and it was slightly different. So I think I might be stuck with this hat, so I could probably make it work. I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with it, to be honest, because I don't need another Indy. I haven't got the parts to build another one. It was just a kind of bit of fun, because it was just going to be a bonus, because it's got, they've got the spare sculpts, and I had the hat and everything. So I might try and put a bit of stubble on and see if that... Obviously, there isn't any stubble in the print as such, so I don't know how well it will take. A bit of stubble, but I think it's not bad. It's quite a good. Again, no one's nailed Harrison Ford, and it's not perfect, but from these angles, it does. It looks quite good.
The only thing that's off-putting is that guy liner.
Yeah, it's got
just
that going on as well.
If it was just get rid of that, and I think it would look really, really good.
Yeah. It's a little bit heavy on that, but I know a lot of people, obviously, that are fans of Blade Runner, obviously fans of Harrison Ford, and a lot of people are planning on doing the same thing. I think I've seen one other person do it, so it'll be interesting. Obviously, it's a necked sculpt as well. Most of my indies have got necks on them, so I can't even just pop it on one and go, that looks cool or whatever. I know I could cut the neck away, but there's plus and minus points to be had. It looks good in terms of having the seamless neck, but obviously you need the appropriate body for it. So it was just a bit of a play around at the moment. I'm not really sure where I'm going with it, but I think it works.
Shame you couldn't resculpt the hair and do it as a professor, Indy, because he was clean shaven pretty much when he was
correct. Yeah. I mean, you probably could if you're any good with a bit of milliput or that sort of stuff, because obviously he's got a very short haircut with just kind of like a bit that comes down here, so you could quite easily over sculpt that if that was something you could do. But it looks okay, and I think people, again, it works kind of well with the present toys, because it's people looking to get an affordable kind of entry level indie into this. So if you bought the figure for 170 quid, and then you're getting this head sculpt out of it, which with a little bit of you've got to be a bit careful that you don't slice too much off his head or take the end of his nose off or something if you slip. But it's not that difficult. And it gives you another option if you're picking up that present toys indie. So it definitely works. I
mean, you can't knock it really. 170 quid for 2 sculpts. So
yeah, definitely.
You might as well give it a go.
And it was always just meant to be a bit of a fun to do this bit, because I really wanted the figure anyway, and it's just a bonus really. So it's let me know if anyone else tries to give it a go. So that was it, really.
I think it looks pretty good.
It does look pretty good, and again, I'll try and decide what I'm actually going to do with it, if anything. But it's always good to have something to tinker with. I hadn't had anything really to work on recently, so I thought I'd give that a go. Although my missus did come down and complain at the sound of the Dremel at like 11 o'clock at night. I had it on like the medium speed, and I was just doing like little bits and then stopping. And I was thinking, oh, I'm all right. And then all of a sudden I hear like coming down the stairs. I'm like, fuck.
Bollocks.
So I'm just like, sorry. She's like, what are you sorry for? I said, I'm dreaming. She went, well, that's what the noise is. She just didn't know what it was. I was like, I could have gone, I don't know. I hadn't heard anything. But I was like, no, I'll stop. Yeah. And by that point, I'd got enough off, and then I just had a scalpel, and I was just trimming off little bits here and there. But
ain't me. Just a really big fucking wasp in here somewhere. Like,
exactly. Yeah. I think there's a UFO up there, because it is a weird noise. I mean, but So I got in a bit of trouble.
I've got a load of scalps I need to paint. I've got the bullets I need to finish off. I need to knuckle down, really. There's a load I need to finish off. but I shall get there. I shall trudge on and get there.
Yep. Cool.
So, have you guys seen Moon Knight yet?
I haven't yet. I meant to.
Yeah,
I meant to at least watch the first episode, but I haven't.
Yeah,
So-
I watched two of them. Yeah.
I plan to.
Yeah.
I plan to. So you guys have watched it, so you can kind of talk.
We've watched them. So
Spoilerish free if you can, but it doesn't bother me if you know.
yeah, we'll try and keep it as spoilery free as we can. I watched the first episode and was like, I can take it or leave this. I'm not that fussed. And then I watched the second episode this morning, or was it yesterday? I can't remember when it was. Yesterday, I think. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
It was really weird because at that point, when I watched the first episode, I thought the fake British accents are starting to piss me off a bit.
Yeah,
It was all very,
like the
cool, blimey, governor. Like it was all very Dick Van Dyke in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, and I was like,
You felt like how every Irish person feels when an American makes them into Diddley Eye. That's what you felt
Yes,
like, I'd say.
yeah. Exactly that. Exactly that. It was all very.
Top of the morning to you. Yeah,
Yes.
right, we all sound like that. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well done, America. You know,
Yeah, it was exactly that. It was all very cool, blimey, governor.
I thought his acting was good. I thought he's like two different characters or whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I wouldn't know if the accent was bad or not because I'm not English. But like, if I know the feeling that you're getting because so many Americans have butchered the Irish accent.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad. Like it was very, very bad. I quite liked, but I thought the action scenes were really good. I liked that. I think generally, like I said, the first episode really slow, and I was like, okay, this is just a man's descent into madness. Like, okay. And then it all kicks off right at the end and then straight into the second episode. So the second episode was way better. A lot more happened. It did a really good job at kind of explaining the whole situation. But there was just a couple of bits where I was like, why aren't you telling anyone? Like, there's a few bits where he's talking to what he thinks is his wife. And I don't get why he doesn't just tell her what's happening. It just seemed that he could have just gone, I've no idea who the fuck you are. You think I'm this person. I'm not. I'm hearing voices. I don't know what the fuck's happening. I don't know why he didn't do that.
I don't think he does though. Isn't that the whole thing? I don't think he does. Like,
well, to him he is. To him he is.
Wasn't she married to the other guy?
Yes.
And he thinks he's the.
Yeah, so we can see it coming a mile off that actually he's the one who's not real. But if you were that Stephen fella, you would straight away be going, "This is what's happening." Like That's the bit I thought was a bit okay. Why wouldn't you just tell her what's the crack is? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. But I'm really looking forward to the third episode. But again, I like we said, with this Marvel TV series, I don't really go back and watch them again.
It feels disposable.
Yes. Yeah.
It feels disposable, like it's...
Mando, I've watched that shit like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
I can quite happily go back and sit there and watch all that again.
Yeah.
But the Marvel stuff just feels like... It almost feels like I need to watch it to kind of understand what's going to happen in the next wave of films.
Yeah, because it's you're plugging a hole, man. It's like...
Yeah, and it's
There's
okay.
no,
It's entertaining at the time,
yeah.
but it's not going to bring you back and go, man, I really want to watch that again. Yeah, it's a shame.
It's disposable content in a way, and it doesn't have like a... I don't think rewatchability is a real word, but like I'd watch Iron Man any day of the week and I'll still enjoy it. Like, you know, I'll get something from it. I'll still get some hype, like, or Winter Soldier or whatever. But I haven't gone back and watched any of the Marvel TV shows. No. But this one is the best. The opening episodes I thought was probably better than any other episode in any of the shows. Personally, like, you know, it was good. Like I didn't know what was going on. I was lost. I love that. You know, don't spoon feed me. Just
well, I promise I'll be up to speed by the next show. We should have had 4 episodes by then, I think.
Yeah,
So,
and I think
thank you, Boogie Manny.
Oh, Manny the man.
Manny. Happy birthday.
I think
thank you very much.
because I don't know much about Moon Knight as a character, I don't. It's quite nice in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of finding things out as I go along, as opposed to
you're not coming to it
having...
with any preconceptions or anything of like how he should be. Yeah, and I'd be the same because I'd never heard of him really. I don't think.
No.
I'd probably seen like Marvel Legends of him and stuff, and gone, I don't really know who that is, kind of thing. So yeah,
same.
Because I like the costume design. Both the costumes that I've seen have both been really good. I really like that. So I'm interested. Yeah, I'm interested to see what keeps happening. And the villain in it is quite good. Don't think I've heard him raise his voice yet, and he's fucking chilling, like absolutely chilling, particularly with his fucking cane. So yeah,
and his whole like ethos is messed up.
Yeah,
it's very Minority Report. Like if
you could be a bastard at some point. Like, yeah, it's so in that respect, I'm quite liking it. I like the way he's pretty much just a loser, like the main character. Particularly like the security guard who keeps calling him like Jeff or something, like saying miles different to his actual name, and he's like, "Well, you just smashed up that fucking toilet," and he's like, because he's trying. When he goes to him, look at the CCTV. Look what happened last night. Look what happened last night, and then it's just him running about, and you're like, and he's like, "Oh, for fuck, what have you done?" And he's just
mushrooms by the sounds of things.
Yeah,
he just things.
Yeah, he just thinks he's high as fuck. But yeah, because what's the next big Marvel film to come out is Doctor Strange. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It looks really stunning.
Zombie Strange,
That scene in the trailer when he opens the door, but the door is like broken off a building and it's upside down in some other weird universe. That looks stunning. Like it just
it looks so good.
Yeah, I think tickets just went on sale for that a couple of days ago. So
the frustrating thing is I'm gonna have to watch it fairly sharpish because it's just gonna get spoiled the shit out of on all the groups. So I'm gonna have to watch it within a couple of weeks of it coming out because it's just not gonna. I'm not gonna stand a chance. That's what I had to do with Spider-Man. It was getting. I left it about 3 weeks before I watched it, and it was getting close where spoiler bans were starting to be lifted, and I was like, people will not have any kind of self-control. I need to go and see it.
And even with that, like, the internet was so rife. It was the worst kept secret.
Yeah.
That the two boys were going to be in it. Like,
of course.
But at the same time, like I don't know what it's like in England, but in Ireland, like, people typically don't like go nuts at the cinema. It's not like in America you see those reaction videos. But people actually, I saw an open night over here. People like really lost it when two boys, and it was really cool to be part of, like, just the energy and everyone like buzzing about it. Like, I thought it was cool. Like, despite the fact that everyone kind of, you were kind of, if you were betting man,
you kind of
if I was a betting man,
it.
I was like, it's 90% going to happen, like, which is cool. Like, but
I think because I didn't see it on like a premiere night, it was just like 3 weeks after. It was all a bit subdued. But definitely, I think if it was the first night of it being on, I think it would have had a way. Yeah, I think it would have been the same. People would have gone just cool. Gone mental for it.
You watching?
Cool.
Either you watch Picard on Amazon?
Yes. Yeah.
Brilliant. Loving it.
Loving it. Yeah. Same
very
here.
good things.
It's the second series is so much better than the first so far. And the first wasn't a shit series by any.
No, it wasn't. But it's just taken like a massive like U-turn, hasn't it? Because Q turns up, and he's a little bit. I think he's losing his marbles a little bit. He's a bit deranged, and he's back playing games with Picard, and they end up in basically it's like the Confederate sort of alternate universe, isn't it? Where they're all like Picard is like this general that's just like massacred all of the other races, just to make it like a human universe and stuff. And
he's got a room full of skulls that are all different.
Yeah,
they're all different
like
Star Trek characters.
Yeah,
you've seen, like
got Golden Cut. Yeah,
it's
brilliant.
That was
really,
really
but he's then like himself.
Like, you mean like somewhere from Essex, like, or like?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I'm gonna get killed.
One, yeah.
Gemma Collins and all of that, just on sticks.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, if only. But no, it's really good. It's really good. Enjoying that. And next series, they've just leaked that all of the original TNG crew are going to be in it. All of the bridge crew are all signed up for Series 3. So 'cause we've had Riker and Troy have been in it, and obviously Data as within the bits and pieces. So yeah, but to have Worf and Geordie and all that would be good. Be good.
And how are they bringing them back? Because isn't it Picard is it's the same actor. It's I can't remember his name, but he's the same actor, Patrick Stewart. Yeah.
It's all just 30. It's all just 30 years later.
Yeah.
And out of
so they've all
the actors still the same. Some of them.
Yeah.
All right,
the hardest part they had was really Data in the first series, because obviously he's a robot, and he's only got like 2 parts of properly human organic flesh. So they did him up as though he was still Data, but obviously he's a lot fatter. Like, so you could tell that but you just they didn't bother de-aging him or anything.
No, but you know that that's the case, and you're kind of like you're able to kind of let that go, because obviously he appears in it as
Sun.
Sun and all that kind of thing. So he's in it as him, kind of. So it just really works. I just love it, and you can't beat a bit of Patrick Stewart.
It's weird because when they first said about it, I thought, okay, Patrick Stewart's he's getting on a bit. He's this isn't someone in their early 60s who you can kind of get away with it because they've looked after themselves. He's an old bloke.
He is,
and I thought this is going to be like Crystal Skull all over again when they first said it. But I think they played a blinder with it. They've made it so that there's a lot of action. Obviously, he's not running about blowing stuff up, but he plays an integral part in all of it. So I'm loving it. I think it's probably the best thing that's been on telly for a little while. It's that good.
And we've got like a Mission Impossible style episode coming on Friday, where they're kind of trying to infiltrate this like
NASA, isn't it? Like something like that.
Headquarters thing, but it's really good. It's all about changing the past and bits and pieces to all to do with sort of first contacts and bits and pieces like that. But it's really good. It's really good. So give it a go for.
Well worth a watch.
Definitely worth it. And I'm going to see Sonic 2 on Saturday, so I can give you a review. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, I did as well. I was surprised.
Really good. Yeah.
I was surprised how much I enjoyed it.
I enjoy Jim Carrey as Dr. Robotnik, and so that'd be good. You're going to see that with Mrs. and the boy, so that'd be quite cool. Cool. That's kind of it.
That is it. A nice short show today, I think.
Yeah.
Cool. Take us through these lovely people.
This isn't getting any shorter. So this is the ever growing.
This is the extra hour and a half.
It is. And Zach's thrown in a bit of a curveball this week, so I will attempt this name. So John refers to it as the 3 pillars holding up the network. I think soon it's going to have to go to 4 because the font is going to be so small that I'm not going to be able to read any of this shit. And I did turn 47 today. My eyesight is not great. So is Zach. But anyway, terrible. This is the beloved, the Angels, the Patreon list. Thanks, for your kind donations and your continued support. So I'll give you all a shout out. Now we've got Sean Fear, Ian CB, René Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leah Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joel Breda, Danny Lee, Dini Martin, Stephen Kratt, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bermondsky, Rick De Gregorio, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, Illustrious Rain, Alid Morgan, Tukathri, Wah, and this is a new guy, sorry if I butcher this, Derek Biasidzinski. That'll do.
Bless you.
I watched CW on Tuesday to see how Dean said it, and he just wimped out and went with Derek B. So I may be the first person to have attempted it for real, and hope I haven't done too badly. We have Carlos Saavedra, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Bowler Boy, Jimmy James, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yahtzee, Scott Bradley, Stephen Rhea Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. We thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen.
If you're not currently a Patreon and you want to join in, we've got the Sweet Angel tier, $5 a month. Gets you a sticker sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark replay. Certified Crispy is all the benefits of the previous tier, plus a official Certified Crispy certificate on first pledge, and this is with figures by Zach. But if you're in the UK, feel free to hit up me and Ian. We'll, of course, try and help you out with anything you try and do with the figure. And then the Water Guy tier is $25 a month. You get the exclusive Pog Deluxe set on first pledge. Doubles all the stickers we send, so you can share them with your family and friends. And also you get the I think I've got this here. You get the top tier bonus for April. If you sign up, you can get the custom D20 from the Live and Let Dice show. I think Zach said they've got about 5 or 6 left. So if you want to get in on that, get yourself on the Water Guy tier. So the stickers we've got for April, we've got the network sticker sheet. That's a really cool one because I think it's a 4x6, but all of the shows come out individually. The individual stickers there, which is really cool. And obviously, we'll get to it at the end. But In and Out's had its final show last week, so that's going to be a bit of a collector's item. That one, the In and Out sticker, and we've got the jumbo sticker. Left-handed Jambo, which is a cool one. So yeah, that's what you get for April. There's the dice. So yeah, we also have YouTube channel members. Shout out to Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just 1, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, Mike Oxlong, S Beam, Andres IB, Daminator, Sam Gist, OG Fan, Penrikers, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Justin Arras, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Gibo, CC3PO, Lima Hernandez, and Carlito. And again, if you want to sign up for that, if you're a Patreon, it's 99 cents, a month, and you get loyalty badges, emojis. Obviously, we'll give you a shout out as we just did there. Or if you're not a Patreon, you can sign up to the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 US a month. And you get the same bits and pieces. We have collecting weekly T-shirts on TeePublic. So if you want to own a bit of CW merch, we've got a couple of OFAC designs on there. Go on there. They've normally always got a sale on, so you can get some good bargains on there. And then that is basically leave it to you, Ian, to take us through the rest of the network.
So, as per usual, this is the network, this is us, this is all the shows that we do. We are on all the fucking time, never ending, a monotonous march in your eardrums, coming in your ears constantly. We have every day, hard and fast. So we got Collecting Weekly Live, which is has the title suggests, it's weekly and it's live. We have After Dark, which is not allowed to be aired in any form of daylight. They actually just turn all the lights off and all you hear are the voices. We got Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, which again is John in his basement doing ungodly things to dollies. We got Collectors Club, which is a very exclusive club that we're not allowed to be part of. I think you have to do.
Be part of, yeah. I
don't think we can afford to. And if I'm honest, I think you have to do very, very special things in John's basement to be part of that club. So,
nice.
Yep. Rips you a twine. OFAC, the Jewel in the Crown, the best show on the network. The reason why we get up in the morning every day. It's us. We're fantastic. Everyone else is shit. We're amazing. We got Bricks and Brews, which is grown men playing with Lego, drinking apple teenies. A little bit weird. We got Pose Wars, which is lots of people posing and then not telling their parents they've had to pose for pictures. We got Small Talk, which is the smaller side of things, and like we said every week, hats off to them. We've got a show sheet with like 5 things on. They've got a show sheet with like 500 things on because of Hasbro and that just fucking pummel people into submission. And then the Ringcast, which was on the other week, which I didn't get to get on, which I was gutted about because I like that one. I like to talk about Lord of the Rings. Live and Let Dice, again, as someone who plays 40k, I can't really comment too much on
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you need to be careful what you're saying now.
Yeah. I'm a couple of dice away from joining the Virgin Brigade. But again, I could listen to Cody's voice all day. That man could literally read the phone book and it would be amazing. He's got the same kind of voice as like Jack Black. Like, it's just amazing. So so that's us. That's the network.
It's funny because I hadn't watched any of the ones up until the the special Patreon 2-part one they did with the arena battle. I really enjoyed it actually. I might stick with it now because I always kind of thought, because obviously they run 4 or 5 hours and it's and I try and keep up with all the shows and it's quite tricky. So obviously you can have it on in the background and everything. But I was one that I'd kind of steer clear of just because of the the sort of runtime and stuff. But I did really enjoy the two parts of the special mission thing. It was quite good. So I might try and pick up some.
I have always wanted to give it a go. Like it does, it is something that I think I would probably quite enjoy. But it's another rabbit hole I don't want to jump down.
And I didn't realise Mark was on it, which makes it 100 times better. And he's just like...
Is he drinking steadily throughout?
I don't know if he's drinking, but he's just kind of like... He's just on like another level to the rest of them. They're all really like clued up and they've got all their sheets and everything. And it comes to Mark's turn. It's like, Mark, are you awake? And then he'll be like, yeah, I don't know what... and it's just... He just sort of... He's bumbling his way through it. So it's quite amusing. So good old Mark, we love you, Mark, and he's playing this like lizard guy, and he's good because like Zach takes it proper serious and he's doing his voice and all this kind of thing, and Dean's just like Dean, he doesn't do all that stuff, and Mark's just funny because he's kind of like, but it's good, definitely even if you only watch a couple, just watch the last couple, which is kind of like the Patreon special where they went on a special mission and stuff. Yeah, and the other thing was collecting Wiki Clips, which I think is John doing that now. Any funny bits that we want to tell him about, he'll put on there. Obviously, other news, Eddie. The beautiful Money Mendez has.
Don't worry, he's not died.
No,
he's
fine.
Still alive.
He's effectively left the network in terms of hosting a show, so that's why I say In and Out's effectively ended last week, and Collectors Club is now going to be every Friday. But he's gone on to pursuing his own thing. He's got his own YouTube channel and Facebook and stuff. So find him on there. And but he's still going to be popping up on shows. We invited him today, but he wasn't sure if he could get on with work and stuff, so obviously he hasn't managed that. But always welcome on here, Eddie, and everyone else said the same. He's going to be helping out on small talk and bits and pieces, and always once one of the boys, always one of the boys. So best of luck with that, Eddie, and we'll see you around on some of the shows, no doubt. That's
good luck. So I think that's just about done, isn't it? I think that's probably one of the shortest episodes we've ever had. Yeah. So we've got to thank Hot Toys for not kicking our ass on a Thursday night.
As I say, it's quite nice to have a slightly shorter one, so you can actually maybe watch a bit of TV before you have to drag yourself off to bed. So
Pete can have a birthday Jimmy before he goes to bed.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So we're going to leave everyone with that wonderful thought with Pete hunched over, just pounding away.
God.
So I shall see you next time. Tatty buys.
Bye.
Bye, you dirty bastard.